one more race to go before the finals. It's going to be the Victorian Combined Masters, third heat. And there is still a golden opportunity here, a Grand Slam opportunity for Kristen Welsh. She's already won 2 races. She's going to try and get 3 on the trot. Chris Dudfeld, who has finished runner-up twice, and Daniel Tilley, who's finished third place twice. Are we eager to stop her?
No, we gave him a girl's name, he's never forgiven us.
From the first race to the second, only Robert Barnes and David Wood changing positions, 7th and 8th respectively. Lights are out, we're underway, so 1 race left before the finals. This will set the grid position for that. How are the Masters going to handle it when the pressure ramps up? Well, the men are going to try and put their foot down and get away from them. Rotating cart corner. Dudfield trying to stick with it. Tilley already finding himself in the 3rd position yet again, not where he wants to be. He wants to be up towards the front, you know. 3rd place is nice, but you've got silver and gold ahead of you. Baldacchino just sitting in the 4th spot right now. Everybody in the Masters really has found an area that they can work well within. They've all got their own pace, they've all got their own limitations with the cart.
And he's streaking away from
Ventura trying to hold off Shane Box though. We could be seeing a fight developing for the top 5. Battle for 5th for here. Ventura trying to hold off Box. Straight here, no gains being made. Tilley trying to stay with Dudfeld. Dudfeld trying to close up to Welsh, but it's just not happening. Everybody's getting get spread out. They're all finding their own lanes. They're all finding their own routes. They know how fast they can go. Looks like they're not afraid to use maximum pace in order to try and get clear of the others.
So you can hear my father and lady speaking, and basically the announcers are thinking that I'm a girl because my first name is Kristen, and I always shorten it to Chris to make it a little bit easier for people, but the announcers here are like, oh, who is it? So they just call me Welsh, I think. But we actually managed to tell them for the final heat, but for this heat they still think I'm a girl.
same way.
I mean, it is a boy's own first name.
It is.
Yeah.
Ventura continuing to try and pull the lead out ahead of Fox. Then behind them is going to be David Wood, Robert Barnes, Steve Oldest bringing up the rear.
So in this race I actually felt really comfortable. I don't know why, but all Dad and I did is we changed the front. We made the front a little bit narrower, and also the temperature of the circuit, because this is about 6:30, I think, which kind of meant that yeah, we could raise the pressures a little bit. So typically when the temperature goes down, I tend to raise the tire pressures just a little bit so that it's got a bit more a bit more rigidity, which is supposed to, you know, mean that it's going to heat the tires up a little bit better. So we just raised the pressures a little bit. I think we're at like 11 psi when we ran 10 before, so it's not a big difference. Felt really comfortable in this heat, and from the beginning I remember I was thinking I didn't even need to look behind me because I just felt like he's not there anymore. Whereas in the second heat I was looking behind me all the time. I was really paranoid about them chasing me. I think this is the biggest gap I've ever had in the lead of a race. So this is really exciting, and it's interesting because it's taken me 3 years to get this level of domination. So I'm very grateful to have this period. And you know, obviously technology helps. You know, I've got a near new go-kart and an engine that's only 3 months old, so really helps. It's certainly a powerful engine, and you can see from obviously in the second race I passed Chris on the straight, so it's a good engine. Whereas with the Rotax in the past, as you may have remembered, I always used to complain about not being able to pass people because of the engine, but with this thing it's just so much easier.
Thanks guys, that's great. Can I get this entire row please?
Apologies for that. Anyway, Chris is behind, going to be chased by Chris Dudfeld and Daniel Tilley, so it's the Chris and Chris show that we're going to be eager to watch. They're underway, the lights are out, so 10 laps remaining in October for the Oakleigh Go-Karting Club of Victoria. Let's see what's going to happen. And coming out of the corkscrew, Welsh is going to continue to lead, trying to cement himself.
You can see here in the on-card, I actually nearly go off on that curve. That was so close. I had to basically just get out of the throttle completely because I was sliding a little bit too much.
Lights.
Mind your face.
That's not over though. Dudfield trying to close in as well. Tilley, they've been playing second and third the whole day. Bollicino also in the mix there. He's been pushed down to fifth. So probably not where he wants to end up, considering he started and finished his day in fourth. Yeah, a bit of a shame to have your luck.
And so just coming back to the on-cart footage here. So yeah, basically I nearly went off in the first lap, and we had to raise the pressures because the temperature comes right down. So we raised the pressures, and I really didn't feel that comfortable in the kart at this point. I was taking it really easy because of that first curb that I nearly went over. I was like, geez, where did I brake? So I didn't actually feel that comfortable at this stage going over the curb there, but yeah, definitely heat 3 I felt so comfortable, but I felt like I had to kind of find the circuit a little bit more because it does change quite a bit when the temperature goes down, and also with the lights sometimes I kind of forgot what part of the circuit I was on.
Two laps complete now. Welsh out in front. Dudfield with the fastest lap, so 46.132 now from Robert Barnes with the fastest lap of 46.086. So the cold tyres, the cold temperatures may not be affecting each other equally. Looks like Welsh might be on the ropes here. He's still got a lead, but obviously it's not as massive as he would like it to be. And if Dudfeld continues to cut into it, as he's doing so...
So they actually said I'm on the ropes, which I think is a bit extreme, because I still had a gap. But yeah, definitely my first couple laps were not the quickest. As I said, I'm just feeling out the circuit, so braking into here, I was braking really early because I nearly went off. I think I'm maybe on the second lap, I'm not sure. So yeah, it was a real exploratory race, this one, and also knowing that the final is so important, I was really, I didn't want to make any mistakes. But yeah, it looks like I'm really taking it quite gently at this stage.
Separate and spread out. We've seen this quite a lot throughout the VCM.
And it's coming in here. See, I nearly went off. I actually put my rear wheel off the curb and I nearly spun it all the way around, but I managed to correct it. And now I was really paranoid because I knew that Chris was going to be close to me. And you can just see how much he's closed up. So he's literally only a couple of kart lengths behind.
Dudfeld's not content with playing second fiddle. He won the 4-stroke event 2 months ago and then finished third last month. Now he's moved over to the Victorian Combined Masters, let his son Jordan race the 4-stroke instead. So he's putting more energy and effort into this class. He very clearly is wanting to win it.
But I knew, the good thing is I knew I had a lot more pace in the kart. I just needed to settle down and get back to what I was doing in Heat 3.
And if Welsh has his way, that's not going to be the case. Keep an eye on the leaders. The white and blue number 25 of Chris Welsh. And then that red, white and green number 55 of Chris Dudfeld. 25 and 55. Those are the cars in the front and those are the cars we're watching. Tilly currently sitting in the third spot. Can't really do anything there. Trying to do his best to hang on to the top two, but it's not falling exactly how he'd like it to. Ventura, on the other hand, he's having an even worse go of it. He's definitely fallen away from the top three, and now he's getting hounded by, I believe, that's Robert Barnes for the fourth spot. Yes, it is. So Ventura and Barnes running 4-5, trying to hold each other off. As one cart's made its way into the pits, I wonder who that is. Looks like we have an early retirement. As one cart peels through, we'll be able to see who it is in just a moment. And they will be classified as one lap down on the speed high. Looking like it might be Shane Fox in the number 26. He had an issue earlier in heat number 3, span out on the last lap, right underneath the commentary box. Tried to ask what the issue was, wasn't able to get an answer, but it looks like whatever it was, it might be affecting him again.
He's keeping the pace just around 6
Tilly continuing to drop away from the two leaders. Ventura, on the other hand, trying to stave off Ventura trying to stave off Barnes. So far, it doesn't look like it's changing. The gap stayed pretty consistent. Marco Ventura been running 5th. He's been down to 7th at times. Tonight, he's running 4th in his final race. So he'll be eager to stay there and prove that's exactly how much, that's where he deserves to be. Knocking on the door on the podium. Doesn't want a 5th, he wants a 4th. It'd be great for him to finish there. Not going to be an easy task though. Robert Barnes in the 11 trying to close up to him. He's also got David Wood for company. Robert Chino also throwing himself into the mix. That fight for 4th. They're all pretty much running nose to tail. They are beginning to close up, but they've only got a lap left. I can't see much move being made here, especially with the gap distances. Wood might have a chance to go for Barnes with a couple of corners remaining. But out in front, it's going to be Chris Welsh. Started on the pole, led every lap, won every race. And that is how you do domination. Congratulations. Checker flag is going to wave there.
Good on you,
Tom. As well. Ventura's going to come home across the line in that
Grand Slam, well done.
Unbelievable.
And it was really quite embarrassing. I actually, on the last lap, didn't see the checkered flag, so I went around and did an extra lap accidentally. And so here I am, I'm just waving because I'm like, shit, sorry. So I did a little bit of a victory lap, and everyone else is already in the pits. So that's an apologetic wave, and just pull it in. So yeah, and so at the end of the race, what they have to do is, if you're on the podium, they put a little tag around your steering wheel. So he's going to come down and give us a little tag in a second. And that's basically just because they have to double check that the restrictor is in place so that nobody's cheating with the engine. So they put a little tag on us, and then we push it into the weights so that we can weigh it. Unfortunately, I was over So that was really good. I was over by 1 kilo, so that was perfect. And there I am just talking to Marco outside and coming back to move the cart because I've got to move it back and then put it on the trolley and get a photo with my father, who's, even though he's 75, he's down there helping me out on the track, which is really, really good because when I was a kid he didn't have enough time to do it, so better late than never. And so now we're just waiting to, just going to get the trolley and then just waiting to put the go-kart up with the steward so that they can check the restrictor. So we lift it up and put it on the trolley and then take it out the back to get the restrictor checked. And they just give us a pair of pliers so that we can unhook the exhaust pipe from the engine, just to double check that there's been no opening of the restrictor plate, which limits the amount of exhaust gases that can come out.
Yeah, I think we've probably got to have the restrictor issue.
And after that's done and we've been all checked through, we can take the cart back to the trailer.